Alright, so the last request that I have that I'm going to be doing today is SCP-001 When Day Breaks, and this one is about the Gate Guardian. Now, we have seen another one of SCP Illustrated's SCP-001's, and that was when the sun was turning people into literal disgusting blobs, and it was one of the more legitimately creepy SCP entries that I've seen, and I expect, like, anytime SCP Illustrated is brought up, it's just like the Vulcan. I expect great things. I expect to learn a lot, and I expect things to be put out in a way that is just, top notch. I enjoy these videos. I hope you guys are as well, and I'm so thankful for my community that has brought me into this. Because it's because of you guys that I'm learning about this stuff. Because I never knew this existed before you guys turned me on to this, and I'm hoping that I'm bringing more of you guys into this as well. What else can I say? SCP Illustrated is one of my favorite creators for SCP related materials, and I'm hoping that when I start making my own. You guys know my lore style, and I apologize in advance for how stupid I'm going to be, but eventually I'm going to start doing lore videos on this, and when I do, may God have mercy on my soul. Until then, let's watch an actual good creator do something. In any case, here we go, guys. SCP-001 When Day Breaks, the Gate Guardian, as done by SCP Illustrated. Let's go.
Good day everyone, and welcome to another When Day Breaks video, this time with the Gate Guardian. This encounter is separate from the main canon we have been developing, so treat this as more of an SCP cross encounter. There will be a continuation to the canon in August with the 682 video. A thank you to the patrons for keeping this channel going, a quick word from today's sponsor, and we'll get started. Now, I'm a sucker for a nice set of playing cards and a beautiful new
Okay, one quick second, because I have to make a PSA about this. When I learned that he had these available, that he had these available again, I was really excited about it. I gotta tell you guys, get a set of these, because just look at them, they're awesome, and I'm gonna stop boomering this. I'm gonna be joining the Kickstarter for an SCP. Basically the illustration books, and I'm also going to be ordering a deck of these cards if I can, because I have been, ever since I saw one of the SCP Illustrated's videos, I wanted a deck of these cards. In any case, here we go.
SCP deck is about to come out. Let's have a look. You've got black and white to choose from. The premium gilded packs even come with this gorgeous iridescent effect on the edges. Check out these designs and illustrations as
well.
Look
at this. This is awesome.
Bold, crisp, yet minimalistic, but still aesthetically pleasing on the eye. Doesn't 049 look so cool in this one? And what about the red accents on the 939 sketch? Awesome. Everyone who backs the project will also have the opportunity to have their own MTF Frontrunner shirt with customizable text. So if you want your own pack, then follow...
Do they have that in size beluga whale for me?
...the link below to the Kickstarter and get your pack of SCP playing cards today.
Okay. The links to the Kickstarter are going to be down below. This is what I was talking about. Actually, this is the Kickstarter I was talking about. They have raised way more than their project goal, and I'm so happy they are. And I can't. And anything I can do to further this, I'm going to.
Uriel stood calm and bold before the gate to heaven. Surrounding him on all sides, a wall of flesh probed the perimeter. Things that were once human, corrupted and mutilated into something new. Something inferior to his master's creation. The sun stared down at him with its evil red eye, taunting him. Uriel felt no fear. The flesh could not pass the barrier. A deep moat of ash and charred earth marked where so many of these abominations had tried and failed to cross. Uriel sneered. The sun still stared at him.
I love this.
A blinding explosion shook the landscape as another monster tried his luck. It was obliterated in an instant. Another tried, and then another. Uriel looked out with disdain. These were once people. They had families, commitments, and dreams. His master's very first creation had turned on them all. What once lit up the sky had now plunged creation into a different kind of darkness. Why did his master not act? The question entered his mind again. His thoughts were interrupted as another creature crossed the boundary. No, all of them were crossing. This he would like to see. Uriel arose and surveyed the scene. He was shocked to see the sun pushing all its infantry onto the front line. What was this? Did the sun hate his master's creation so much that it was determined to see its own warped attempt at life destroyed? It was inconsequential. His great sword danced across the landscape, cutting down the flesh in seconds, reducing them to dust once more. Fertilizer for the garden. Then he understood. These weren't infantry. They were pawns. He sensed something big across the boundary. Great conglomerations of humans and animals now melted and molded into monstrous forms approached him.
Great kaiju.
The bishops made their move. 2 great horned beasts charged straight at him. They were too immense for a direct strike, so instead he swiftly darted to the side and with one great swipe decapitated them. A quick follow-up attack reduced the pieces to ash. He heard a screech from behind and dodged as several smaller but more nimble things on large legs appeared above him. The enemy's knights darted from side to side. A futile effort. Blinding arcs of energy shot out from his weapon and vaporized them all. He continued mopping up the pawns awaiting the rooks. The tide of flesh was relentless. His sword spiraled around the perimeter, creating a whirlpool of ash and embers. A low bellow vibrated off the ground as 2 titanic pillars of flesh approached him from opposite sides. Uriel had to physically crane his neck to look up at them. His weapon blasted chunks out of them, but their wounds were very quickly healed by more flesh. They came closer. They were going to swallow him and the gate. Uriel thrust his sword deep into the ground. The earth's crust fractured and the ground collapsed into the fire below. Uriel and the gate stood there on a pedestal as the rest of the ground and the flesh with it fell to flame. The pillars of flesh collapsed into millions of tendrils, all screeching as they tried to pull themselves out. Instead, they slowly burnt away and were silent. A high-pitched tone pierced him, and he looked out to see a deer approaching him. The opponent's queen. A broken memory returned. Had he seen this thing before? In another time and another place? Fire, blood, ice, and concrete filled his mind. He could not remember. The angel looked on, incredulous, as the ground reformed around him, sealing away the monsters. The deer commanded it. Its shaky legs moved without symmetry as the distorted head showed signs of what was once a face. This hybrid creature was fighting the sunlight, unsuccessfully. It was not of this world. The power this thing radiated was palpable, and Uriel felt fear. He summoned the legions, his own army lined up in front of him, all looking at this creature that continued to advance. The legions of heaven stood firm, but it didn't seem to care. It crossed the boundary and the first line of angels moved to attack.
My God.
There was a crack and a flash, and Uriel was shocked to see several large hexagonal grey columns standing where his allies once did. The second line attacked, and a second flash and crack resulted in another line of columns. Uriel ordered his remaining angels back through the gate. They quickly obeyed. He then spun on his heels, took a final look at paradise, and slammed the gate shut. A ball of metallic elements hit him in his back and he went sprawling into the dirt. He quickly recovered and brought his sword around, colliding with another ball that was spiraling around the creature's head. It shattered, sending particles of creation out like sparks. Tiny portals to other realities opened and shut up as the sparks fizzled away. Uriel went to swing again, but the deer fixed its gaze on his sword and it turned to sand in his hands. The thing's antlers pinned Uriel against the gate. Then a mass of flesh rising out of the deer gave Uriel a command.
You will open the gate.
No.
His one purpose given to him was to guard the gate to the garden, to the end. Uriel reached back, gripped the bars of the gate and began pulling. The gate resisted. He focused his strength and power into his arms, and with a final crack, the bar broke free. The blast sent both Uriel and the deer hurtling backwards. Before the deer could recover, Uriel summoned the last of his strength and plunged the bar from the gate into the deer's neck. Cracks of light began to spread across them both before a final flash enveloped everything. The light cleared. An unspoiled gate to Eden could briefly be seen fading away. In front of it was the charred and lifeless husks of the 2 combatants, slowly crumbling away to join the earth. And that concludes this When Day Breaks video. As always, I hope you enjoyed this.
Do I need to say anything? Okay, I will, just because I'm me and I do this kind of stuff. Number one, okay, just let me just get some stuff together on this. This is so good. Okay, so he based this off of the When Day Breaks file, which I'm going to put in the description down below. The author of this is Shaggy Dreadlocks. And, oh, it's absolutely... I can't even say anything about this. So, the Gate Guardian is the guardian of the gate to Eden. It's the angel in Genesis. The deer, I've already seen. I'm so glad I saw the Vulcan's entry on the deer before I moved on. The containment procedures for that were insane, but they served a purpose. And I didn't know that this was going to be a continuation of the last story. I really didn't know it was going to be a continuation of that. The way that he put out that story, this guy needs to be reading audiobooks. Flat out. He needs to be reading audiobooks. 100%, I cannot argue with that. My voice is, made for print, and I can't say enough about it. I want to see, I've seen stuff like this in the request for series reaction part of the Discord, and I'm wondering if there's more to this. But that's going to have to wait until I come up with the new rules for the request for reaction page, or if I make a whole new page altogether with the new rules set in place. Once again, SCP Illustrated does not fail to disappoint when he puts something out there like this, and I absolutely 100% enjoyed this. I enjoyed the one that came before it when he was talking about when I saw the flesh, my first thought was the flesh that hates. But then I remembered, okay, when he was talking about his master's first creation, that would of course be the sun, and that ties in with the last story for this, where the sun was turning everybody into literal meat puppets, and those things were disturbing. And apparently the deer was affected by this too. The animation, amazing. The storytelling, even better. And I have nothing but good things to say. And with all that being said, if you haven't subscribed to this guy, you really should. I'm going to end it there. This was outstanding. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Definitely go over to SCP Illustrated and check him out for anything SCP related. I guarantee you will not be let down on that. I'm going to be putting all of his links in the description down below, including the link to this Kickstarter and the YouTube video for that Kickstarter, because I actually have that up on my screen. It's kind of off to the side, but I'm going to be putting that in there as well. Get yourself some merchandise. There are some things left on there. I'm not sure if the playing cards are still on there. I hope they are when I get my paychecks from everything that I do. So, yeah. Where am I at? I get into this stuff too much to where I'm sitting there trying to basically wrap up a video, and I'm still wanting to talk about the video. Just complete brain death up here. In any case, all my links are going to be in the description down below, including the one to the Discord and one for the Patreon if you'd like to support the channel. All of SCP Illustrated's links are going to be down below, so check them out as well. And I will see you guys next time. This was outstanding.